take out your pens. I'm gonna give you some career advice. Work is not your mother's place. Unless your mother's the one that has hired you and it's a family business and they treat it like a family business more than it's a business that is supposed to bring money, then you can throw your tantrums and do whatever you want. But as long as you are working for an employer and it's like you are hired, it's not your mother's house. You're not going to do as you please. You're not going to be happy all the time. And that's that on that. I'm going to be straightening this wig. It didn't come straight, so every time I straighten it, it keeps going back to like the wavy curls. So I'm just gonna straighten this while I share with you some pills that I had to swallow. So guys, so today's video, right, I've thought about this a lot, and it has actually been on my content calendar for a while. But you know, cancel culture, but don't cancel after I tell the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the whole truth. But for your sake, for me, if you don't like what I'm saying, it's fine. Let me go. But if you have anything to add, you can add. If you disagree, you can add in the comment section. I'm just going to be honest because I've picked these things up and I feel like talking about them will make other people aware and stop making these mistakes that sabotage their growth, that sabotage their careers, and that sabotage their relationships. As young people, these mentalities of ours. So I'm going to be using a straightener and a hot comb to try and get this thing bone straight. Guys, when you get out of varsity and you graduate, you have obtained a degree to say that for 3 years you specialize, you learned about certain number of things, or you finish your matric and maybe you start working. But there's this thing as millennials that we do in the office of automatically wanting to be promoted, we want more money, or we are not gonna go the extra mile, but we expect recognition for just doing our job. Like, it's so crazy that you want recognition for doing what you're supposed to do. Like, it's like saying, oh my god, I'm walking, please praise me that I'm walking. Or like as one thing that I've picked up as young people, we want recognition for things that are mundane and basic. Like, you want recognition for doing the bare minimum. You want recognition for doing what you're supposed to do, and it's mind-boggling for me that you want recognition for doing your job. Like, you are doing what you're supposed to do. Why do you want to be praised for it? And why are you expecting like an automatic an automatic salary bump and to be promoted for just doing your job? Like, the fact that you come to work every day and you do only what your job requirements are, and then at the end of the year you're going to say you don't get paid enough, when you are the one that when you signed the contract you were aware of your remuneration, then you were happy with it because you signed the contract, then you went and then you lived beyond your means, then it's the employer that's not paying you enough. Like, that's the part I don't know for me. Like, why as young people do we expect to be compensated for doing the bare minimum? why do we expect automatic salary bumps? Yes, it was like that back in the day, and it's still like that in government organization. Like, they get salary increments every year, and it only makes sense to get salary increments that are standard every year, because the cost of living like increases every year, and we're not going to deny that. So it's fine, you're entitled to your bare minimum increase, but you're not going to now expect to get this big thing when your efforts the whole year are like just small things. You are just doing what you are there for. And every time young people, I've seen it a lot, when they're asked to do more than their job titles, like, it's a whole chat of, no, it's not my job, I know my worth, and I'm not gonna do that because it's not part of my job, they don't pay me for it. But why would they pay you for it if you haven't done it? You have to prove that you are capable of doing something. Then once you prove that you're capable of doing it, then you will get paid for it. How do you just expect to get paid first for something and then do it? It doesn't make sense. You have to prove your worth, and then once you've proven your worth, you can make a case of why you should be paid for something. But as young people, I've seen this a lot. Like, you just expect automatic things. You just expect to be praised for doing the bare minimum. You're not doing anything. You're not going the extra mile. The only thing that's constant, guys, in life is change, and you are not adapting to the change, but somehow you still expect to see growth in your career. How does it add up for you that you are going to do this and then get here, but you're just gonna keep on doing that one thing? It doesn't make sense for me. And I know a lot of organizations are still like bumping people up according to their age and how many years experience they have. But I was fortunate to actually learn from where I started in my first job that sometimes years of experience doesn't mean anything. If for me, there was a duration where I worked in like acquiring stuff for the company, because it was a startup, and then we like 10x it grew, so it needed more people to join the company, and at the time we didn't have an HR department, so I was trained to actually interview people and choose candidates that would fit to the company. And one thing that I grew to learn is that as young people, we are doing the bare minimum and we're expecting to stand out. How are you gonna stand out when a lot of more people are graduating? It's not like before, just because you had a just because you had a degree, you were gonna automatically get a job. Nowadays, there's when one job post goes out, I remember like we'd get over 500 applications in one day, and it's all people that are trying to get this job. But once you sit there with the person and you are interviewing the person, they don't have any value to bring. When you ask them, okay, at your last job, what would they say you did that made a difference? I did my work, that's all. So like, what makes you different? Why is the company going to take the why am I gonna now take you as a liability to my company when I know that you're not gonna add any value? You're just gonna do the bare minimum, which is okay, and then I'm not gonna get any more value. And then there's the next person who's willing to go the extra mile, who's willing to do more, who's willing to do to actually learn and grow. And it's a thing, like they actually want to do it, and they're actively going to do it. And also this thing that people do in job interviews, where they say they'll go the extra mile, they'll do everything, and then once you are in the job and you're expected to do the things that you said you would do, you just say, but that's not my job description, I'm not going to do that, whatever. And when you're supposed to now challenge, because work, you are going to be challenged. It's not like university where you're just given case studies and it's based on your textbook and stuff. There's a lot of things that you're gonna need to still learn when you're at work. There's new systems that are installed. Everything is changing, and you have to adapt to the change and also be part of the change and actually make a difference in your workplace to actually cry, I know my worth. Right now I can cry, I know my worth, because there's things that I can physically point to. Just saying that I've worked in this for 4 years means nothing. For me, when I have a company, I will tell you the truth that if you're gonna come and say I've worked in what for this amount of years and that's like what you count as worth, I'm sorry, but you are not going to be part of my organization. And that's that. I'm not even going to hide that this is the case for me, because I don't want employees that are going to eat at my resources unnecessarily and not contribute to the company actually growing and making more money than it currently is. Because at the end of the day, you are an asset and you are supposed to contribute to the company making more, or else you're a liability. Let me tell you one thing that I've learned about work: it's not your mother's house. That's the best, that's the best thing I'll ever tell you. When you go to work, just know that's not your mother's house. Just keep saying it to yourself when you feel like, oh, this is so unfair. Oh, it's not your mother's house. I will not lie to you and say, yeah, there's, you know what, when you realize that, you know what, at this place I'm not happy, I'm not fitting in, start making your exit plan. And making an exit plan doesn't mean you're gonna draft your resignation and just say, you know what, somebody must say this to me and then I'm just resigning. Your exit plan includes now you have a backup plan, or by the time I leave this place, I know where I'm getting my next income, where what do you call this, how I'm gonna get the next income and everything like that. Do you think that our parents were always happy at their jobs, but they stayed because they wanted to feed us and get us through school? And then when you just quit easily and make them your backup plan? No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry, but it's not. You have to stay and you have to make up your backup plan. You have to apply for other jobs. Then you will leave and go to another place that might, it's not even guaranteed that it's going to be a healthier environment. You just assume it might actually be better, but it's not a guarantee that it's going to be better, and you need to know that. Being disillusioned like the generation that we have today, that now everything must be cushy for me, it's not. And it wasn't for your parents. Just because they came back with a smile happy, they were happy that they get to go back to work another day so that they can have an income to maintain a lifestyle at the end of the month. So for me, this mentality of I'm gonna prioritize, you guys use mental health as an excuse to slack. I'm not saying that you will not have mental health issues at work, and you should actually prioritize your mental health by setting boundaries, by taking your breaks. Setting boundaries is things like, I will not work after work, but make sure that during your work hours you are doing your work and you are producing quality work. But prioritizing your mental health is setting boundaries, communicating like an adult. Like, you are not gonna be those people that are now shouting. I've experienced this, and I find it so bizarre that you can be that emotional at work and expect it not to come back and work negatively towards you. Because again, it's not your mother's house. It's not. So you have to act accordingly. In your mother's house, when you bang doors and you bang doors and you do everything, yes, your mother might discipline you, but she will never hold it against you for the rest of your life. But at work, it will be, because disrespect is taken a certain way at work, and will come up at your performance review, and you'll be like, no, but you can't bring emotion at work. Leave it at home. You are in a professional space, act like a professional. We want to be treated like a professional, and you want to be taken seriously as a professional, act like a professional. Nobody cares. Or I'm still young. No one cares. At the end of the day, they are actually even saying that this is why we don't hire young people, because you guys are irrational and you expect things to be done your way, and if they are not done your way, you throw tantrums. And you also doing that makes you are cancelling out one, and like you are cancelling someone who's gonna be your reference. So imagine you are gonna go through your life without references, so that means you stay at the same place the whole time, because you can't control your emotions. I'm not perfect, and I have expressed unhappiness, and in my first job I talked to my mom a lot, because there were times I wanted to quit, but besides her advising me not to quit by telling me that you will be more stressed and depressed if you leave, and I would look at it and I'd be like, I have built a certain lifestyle, and I've grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and should I leave, that means I lose everything and I have to start over. And on top of that, if I leave abruptly, I'm burning a bridge, and I didn't want to do that. So I chose to focus on things that I can do to maintain my mental state, and also still go there and push to be at a better place when I leave. And I did exactly that. And everywhere I go, I will always do that. I will not, like, I know people say sometimes it's necessary to burn a bridge, but when you do that, you must be sure for where you're going next, that bridge that you burnt, you will never need it. Like, that's one for me. And then there's another one where there's this thing, we've glamorized entrepreneurship so much. The fact that you can't handle being given multiple tasks at work means you're going to fail as an entrepreneur, and you're not going to just leave work and say you're going to start your own business, because you're going to fail at your own business by just that one trait of yours, that you refuse to do things beyond your job scope. As an entrepreneur, you have to be everything of your job, because when you start as an entrepreneur, you might not have enough funding to have people that you have designated for it. So you are everything. Your work hours are actually more than 8 hours. They are 14 or more hours that you are putting into your business for it to work. I'm not saying that all workplaces are equal or made equal, and opportunities are made equal, but I'm saying you just need to realize your own doings in not progressing. What are you doing that's making you stand out? Are you doing the bare minimum and expecting to whatever? But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, Slayers. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yo, if I lost subscribers, bank cancelled. They cancelled me. If you love me, let me know. If you don't, let me go. I'm not gonna start using it because it's her line, but I really like it. And please, guys, I couldn't, like, there's no need to just keep on watching my videos and disliking them. Just let me go. Let me go, bro. Okay, cool. Bye.